Hi everyone! So we are officially here for the Shadow and Bone Grishaverse read-along kickoff. So if you haven't seen yet, I'm going to be hosting a read-along throughout the next couple months of the whole entire Grishaverse. I actually planned this, and it was funny because in response to the actual day that the Grishaverse like Shadow and Bone Netflix series got released for April, or like the announcement that it's going to come out in April, I had already planned for my read-along announcement to go be uploaded that day. And I had planned, because there was like rumors and speculation that it was going to come out in later 2021. So I had planned the entire schedule around that. But now they're saying it's coming out in April. But I think my schedule still works based on what I've heard the first season of Shadow and Bone is going to cover. So I think how I have it set up still works schedule-wise. But if you aren't aware, yes, we are doing a Grishaverse read-along. If you don't know what the Grishaverse is, it is a series written by Lee Bardugo. It's a trilogy first, and it's Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising, which we really delve into what the Grisha are. And then Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom are a separate duology. I actually read them first. Oh, hi Callum, hi Brianna, hi Elizabeth. Glad to see you all here. But yeah, I actually read the Six of Crows duology first, and then found out that Shadow and Bone is supposed to take place before that, and read the Shadow and Bone series. So I did it a little bit unprecedented, but it is what it is. And now we're going to read the whole series in the correct order. But yeah, Shadow and Bone just really sets up the world. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom is my favorite of the Grishaverse, and then King of Scars follows one of the characters we meet in Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows. So it's just one huge universe, but with separate stories following separate characters. That's the easiest way to describe it. So this is taking place throughout the months of January, this month, through July. January through March, we'll be doing the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Then April, May, we will be doing the Six of Crows duology. And then June and July, we'll be doing King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. And again, the Netflix series breaks out in April, hoping it's towards the end of the month, so that way we can at least try to get Six of Crows in before the Netflix series starts. But if not, like I said, I think the Netflix series, with the way it's set up, it's following. So Shadow and Bone actually takes place before Six of Crows, but the way they set up this TV show, they have Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows happening at the same time. So I can only imagine that we're only going to be covering stuff that happens within the first books. So, yep, that is the schedule. We also have 2 side stories. Oh, you binged the Grishaverse in 2 months last year. So, yeah, it's a good series. Sorry that this is shaking. I have it setting on the cat tree. And Sherman wants to make an appearance here. He likes to make an appearance in all my videos. But, yeah, the series is so good. Six of Crows is the reason I actually got back into reading. I read it, and I was like, I need to start a booktube, and then I just started reading so much again. It's my favorite series, so I'm very excited to host this read-along. You're reading them. Can't wait. Oh, yay, Zoe. And then you love multiple universe books. Yes, I love multiple universe books as well. Callum and I are actually planning a huge Star Wars experience, and that's going to include the books, TV shows, and movies. So that's definitely a multiple universe type thing that we're going to be covering, but I'm very excited for that, to get into that whole Star Wars adventure. But we're talking about the Grishaverse now, because I just like to sidetrack myself all the time. But I have my little notes here. As I was saying, there's 2 side companion novels to the series as well. The Language of Thorns, which is essentially the fairy tales of this world, and then the Lives of Saints, which is the book of reference that they talk about in Shadow and Bone series, and it's the saints and their stories. There's 28 stories in the Lives of Saints, and there is 6 stories in the Language of Thorns, so that's 34 in total. And we have 29 weeks until the end of this read-along, so I figured we could do 1 story per week and then just double up in some random 5 weeks. At least that's how I'm going to be doing it. You can read those books wherever you feel they fit in, but that's how I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to start with the Lives of Saints because it's referenced in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then I'll move on to the Language of Thorns once I complete those 28 stories. You love Star Wars except the sequel movies. Yes. I think my boyfriend would heavily agree with that sentiment. Wouldn't you?
What was the question?
You love the Star Wars movies except for the sequel movies.
Yes. 7, 8, 9 suck.
He said 7, 8, and 9 suck.
Big disappointments.
I've only watched the whole universe once through, and from memory, I would say Rogue One is my favorite movie of them all. But yeah. But yeah, so that's how I'm doing these side stories. And then the way I have the schedule for this month, I'm going to be doing today's live show, and then I'm doing another live show on January 10th. That one's going to be live reading sprints, and I'm going to just do some fun polls and talk about the book, how far we've gotten so far. It's only 2 days away, so we're probably not going to get very far into the series. I think I said we're doing live reading sprints, so we'll catch up a little bit, and then I am going to read the first story from Lives of Saints in that live show on the 10th. Then on the 13th and the 15th, I'm doing Twitter reading sprints. So it won't be a live show, but if you go to my Twitter, you can follow along with some reading sprints. And then the 19th, I'm going to be posting a reading vlog that is themed around Shadow and Bone. I have to figure out what that theme is going to be because the whole series, maybe I'll do something like deer themed. Maybe. We'll see. I don't think that's a spoiler, but it pertains to the novel. And then on the 22nd will be the day of the competition, which I will delve on a little bit. And then the 24th will be another set of reading sprints. And then on the 31st, we will do a book discussion and just talk about what we thought of the book, our reviews, opinions, that sort of thing. So as I mentioned, the 22nd is going to be a competition, and the idea of the competition is that it's taking place throughout the entirety of the read-along. Every month you have a chance to enter for prizes, and each month there's going to be a competition day. So you have up until that day in the month to upload your entry. And this month's theme is to recreate the cover. Recreate the cover of your favorite book in the entire Grishaverse. So it doesn't have to be Shadow and Bone. You can choose from any books in the trilogy, any books in the duology. You can choose one of the side stories, but recreate one of the covers. It could even be, this is the old cover. You can use the new cover of the series. That could be makeup, that could be drawing, that could be an outfit, or some people will take like random objects around their house and create the cover. So that is the competition for January. So you have until January 22nd to submit your entries, and I will be sharing all my favorite entries throughout the month as you guys post those. You can share them on Twitter, on Instagram, with the hashtag Shadow and Bone Readalong, or sorry, Grishaverse Readalong. Got sidetracked by Shadow and Bone. With the hashtag Grishaverse Readalong. And yeah, we'll go through it that way, and I'll keep track. maybe throw in, because Grishaverse read-along's probably a pretty popular hashtag. Maybe throw in, like, this is your entry for Megan's Grishaverse read-along. Unless someone has a better hashtag idea, comment over there if you have a better hashtag idea, because I'm not that creative. But those will be shared again throughout the month, and I'm excited to see all the entries. I'm probably going to do, or at least try to do, a makeup look. I'm not that skilled with makeup. I did a makeup class. I can do, like, gore and, like, animals and that kind of thing. Meg's Grishaverse read-along. Do you think that's too long, though? That's what I was going to go with, but I felt like that was too long. Maybe I should do... Oh, Mythical Grishaverse. Oh, that's kind of cute. Do you think that's too long, or should I? Do you think that's okay? I feel like that one's okay. It's shorter than Grishaverse read-along. Yeah, let's go with hashtag Mythical Grishaverse. I like that. Thanks, Elizabeth. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh, I did a makeup class, so I can do, like, I did the Avatar, like the Blue People movie. So I did that Avatar look. I've done, I did like a Red Riding Hood / the Big Bad Wolf look. So I feel like I could pull off something with Shadow and Bone, but just doing like natural looking makeup, I suck at. I don't know why I can't do normal makeup. But yeah, I'm excited to see all the entries, and the prize at the end of the read-along, if you don't have any of the books, I will purchase those books for you of the Grishaverse, or if you have all the books, I will purchase any Grishaverse item of your choosing, or any book of your choosing, again, as I said before, up to $25. And then I will have a surprise kind of put in there as well that I'm not going to share because it's a mystery item. And yeah, it is open to international if you guys want to join. So yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, so that is pretty much all of the details. So if you have any questions about this read-along, go ahead and put them over on the side. But it's pretty straightforward. We're reading one book a month other than the Lives of Saints and the Language of Thorns. Those will be one story per week with double up on 5 per week. We've got monthly competitions. We got reading sprints. I'm distracted by your t-shirt. Where did you buy it? It's a Dragon Ball shirt. It's actually Anthony's. I think we got it at, it would have been a Walmart, I think. I'm pretty sure we got it at Walmart. We get most of our clothing from, like, graphic t-shirts from Walmart or Target. Occasionally from Hot Topic, but I think it would be one of those 3. I have just started watching the series with him. I've been reading the manga. I'm actually on the last omnibus of the first series. So that's another multi-universe thing going on. It's like Dragon Ball, then Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball X or GX. I don't even know all of them. I'm still on just regular Baby Goku Dragon Ball, so I couldn't even tell you who this person is. Maybe Goku ? But yeah, it's been a fun series so far. We are meeting King Piccolo right now, if you know who that is at all. Oh, it's Goku. Good, at least someone knows. But yeah, so I just have a few Polish questions before we get into the reading sprint, and then we'll be done for today. This was just a fun little kickoff, so I really appreciate you guys joining today. So I have a few questions. So first of all, put in the comments if you've read the series or not, or how many books you've completed in the series or anything of that nature. For me, I've read everything that is out for the series so far other than Lives of Saints. So I've read the entire trilogy, I've read the duology, I've read King of Scars, and I've read Language of Thorns, but I've not read Lives of Saints yet. So go ahead and put in the comments if you've read the series. Callum, you've read them all except Lives of Saints, so now you have to read Lives of Saints along with this read-along. Read all but King of Scars. King of Scars was interesting for me because we follow some of my absolutely favorite characters from the Grishaverse, but it was kind of a disappointing read in a way. I don't know. It was like, I still put a 5 stars on it because I love this universe and I love the characters, but definitely wasn't as good as Six of Crows for me. Brianna's, you've only read Six of Crows. You haven't even read Crooked Kingdom yet? Oh my gosh. You have to join this read along. Haven't read any of them, all on your TBR. Well, Elizabeth, I hope you're joining this month because that would be super exciting to help you complete your TBR. My TBR is personally, like, my physical TBR is over 300 books, so I don't even want to think about what just my regular overall arching TBR is. And Detective, I've only read Shadow and Bone. I'm almost done with Siege and Storm. Okay, so you're almost right on track here. So, yeah, I hear a lot of negative reviews about the trilogy. Personally, for me, the first 2 books were really good, and Ruin and Rising, well, let's just say the title was appropriate in that first word, Ruin. But yeah, I did enjoy the first 2 books of Shadow and Bone. No, I haven't. I'll try to get the audiobooks from the library. I love audiobooks. They have honestly saved my reading overall. Last month, starting in like late September, I hit a horrible reading slump. And honestly, the only reason I read more than 2 books a month was because of audiobooks. I love audiobooks. I've not read the Grishaverse in audiobooks, though, so I don't know how that is. Elizabeth, oh, you're joining, yay! You're also reading Throne of Glass, so 2 books at once. I'm also reading Throne of Glass. I actually have my books sitting right here. I'm currently on Empire of Storms, technically, but I'm tangent reading it with Tower of Dawn because someone recommended that, because Tower of Dawn is following just one character and Empire of Storms is following like all the other characters. So it's fun to like intersperse his point of view in with all the other point of views because they are happening in the same timeline at the same time. I'm saying a lot, but this way of reading these 2 books has been really nice so far. So if you aren't to these yet, I definitely recommend reading them like this. And if you need the chart I'm going off of on how to read it, I can definitely hit you up with that. Ruin and Rising is one of my favorite YA trilogy endings. No, it's one of the worst. Callum, you're wrong. You're on Empire Stars too? Awesome. I'm currently reading like 8 books at the same time because I'm a psycho and can't read like 1 book at once. I just get distracted way too easily, so I just kind of, whenever I get bored with 1 book, I just pick up another book. I also have books based on where I'm reading at, so like when I'm in the car, I have 1 book. When I'm in my bed, I have 1 book. When I take a bath, I have 1 book. When I'm up here at Anthony's, I have 1 book. I just have books for different locations. But yeah, I'm reading like 8 different books right now because I'm insane, and we're about to add a 9th to it because why not, you know? At least this one I'm supposed to read slower because it's happening throughout the whole month. But yes. You're on the first book. You'd like the chart. Okay, I will put the chart. I'll somehow get the chart to you. So we'll figure that out after. But comment to me if you want me to put it on like an Instagram DM or in our like chat. I think you're in that chat. Yeah, I think you're in our TikTok chat, I'm pretty sure. So I'll send it to you there. 9 books, that's a lot. I've had 1 book on the go since December. I know, I told you I'm psycho. I'm reading Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, Shadow and Bone, Renegades. Well, I guess I'm only reading 8 because I literally just finished right before this live show How to Be Anti-Racist. So kind of 5, kind of not. The Last Olympian, which is the final book in Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the last omnibus of Dragon Ball, Red, White, and Royal Blue, and Addie LaRue. So it's a lot of books, but we're making it work. Okay, you're in the chat. Perfect. Yes. Okay, so, next question, since we were talking about if you've read the series or not. So, if you haven't read the series, what do you think is going to happen? Or what do you think it's about? What's your expectations? If you haven't, or if you have read the series, did the stories meet your expectations when you read them? Were they what you expected they would be? Add in Sailor Moon manga. Sailor Moon. Okay. So I'm also psycho in the fact that I was like, I'm going to calm down. I'm not going to push myself this year. I'm just going to take it slow, not pressure myself with intense TBRs. And then also I've created my entire 2021 TBR. So Sailor Moon is on that list. I remember really loving Sailor Moon when I was younger. I think Sailor Venus was my favorite because I was the typical little girl that loved the like fashionista characters, like Clover from Totally Spies, and was it Stella in Winx, I think her name was. Basically, any blonde girls I loved because I looked up to them, which is why representation in books is so important. But regardless, yes, I loved Sailor Venus. Sailor Moon is on my TBR for 2021. I really want the new editions they have out. You have no expectations. You like it better that way. Honestly, I can vibe with that because a lot of times I did book hauls. I would be like, I don't know what this is about, but the cover looks cool and I'm excited to read it, because a lot of times going in without expectations just really helps my reading. So I get that. Six of Crows exceeded my expectations. I can also 100% agree with that. I read it. I remember reading that Juice chapter, the very first chapter, and thinking I was going to absolutely hate the book. But then once you get past that Juice chapter, it just turns phenomenal. So, yes, I can agree with that one. Okay. And then last question, it takes a little bit of prefacing, is what type of Grisha would you be? So I'm going to go through the different Grisha. It's not really a spoiler because it says it right in the front of the book here. So there's 3 categories of Grisha, and the best way I can describe it is Corporal Kai. I'm probably going to butcher all of these pronunciations, so bear with me. But Corporal Kai are the people who deal with like living and dead things. So healers are exactly what they sound like. They can heal people. And then Heartrenders are the kind of people who can like control people. They can stop breathing. They can make you like pass out. They can slow down your heart rate, that kind of thing. Ethereal Kai are how I would describe like Avatar: The Last Airbender-esque people. So the Squallers are air, the Inferni are fire, and the Tidemakers are water. And then the Material Kai are kind of it says the order of fabricators, so they're kind of like the inventors-ish. Durists deal with like metal and earth and like that type of side of inventions, and then the alchemy deal with like the chemistry-esque side of inventions. That's the best way I can describe it going into it. So are you a Heartrender, healer, Squaller, which is again air, Inferni, which is fire, Tidemaker, which is water, like a metal, or a chemist? I'm personally, because I'm not cool enough to be one of the like Corporal Kai, I'm probably a Tidemaker, which is the water people. I would always say that if I was going into the Avatar universe, I would want to be a waterbender, and I've stuck by that, so I'll stick with it here. But yeah, I would love to be a healer. That would be like the goal, because I don't know why I say that, because I could never be like a nurse or deal with those types of things. So yeah, maybe we should stick with water. Yeah, yes, you would be a heartrender. Callum, you would be. Callum, you're like the person that wants to be a heartrender, but is not a heartrender. Detective, a healer, and the fire one, Inferni. So you spell it, I'll type it here. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, Callum. If you guys don't know, Callum and Brianna are my friends that I talk to like every single day. So I felt like I could say that about Callum. You're so right, which is why I'm laughing so hard right now. I will leave. Go ahead, leave. Bye, Callum. Yes, Chastity. So yes, that is the different types of Grisha. So yeah, now that I have babbled on long enough, we're going to do a quick reading sprint. I'm personally going to read Shadow and Bone, but if you want to read whatever you have nearest to you and you don't want to pick up Shadow and Bone, you can read whatever book you want. But yeah, we're going to do like a 15-minute reading sprint, and I'm going to mute myself just because I think it would be weird to just sit here in silence. So we're going to sit in like ultra silence while I mute myself. So if you want to put on some like ambiance noise for yourself or anything, I will check in with you guys. It's currently, we'll wait till the time change here, which would be 7. So we'll go until 42. I'm going to set my timer now. Oh, hello, Sherman. And go. everyone say hello to Sherman. As you can see, he was making it a little bit difficult to read, but I love him anyways. He just had surgery, so I'm very happy he's back to being lovable and active again. Hello. But how many pages did you guys get finished on your little reading sprint there? He did just want snuggles. Yes. He's so freaking cute. He isn't actually, he doesn't actually love me. I'm just sitting in his chair right now, so he used me as his chair. That's my theory. Yes. I made it to page 19. Probably could have made it a little bit farther, but again, yes. So, but that is all for today's live show. Thank you guys so much for joining. You made it to 25 on the ebook, so you don't know, about 20 pages. Did everyone read Shadow and Bone, or what did you guys all read? He is just wild. But yeah, I made it through the prologue and probably about halfway through the first chapter. I've read it before, so I was moving pretty quick because I could remember what was going on. Oh, you read Siege and Storm? Oh, I'm glad to see it. Several of you did Shadow and Bone. But thank you guys so much for joining today. It was a lot of fun. As a reminder, the next live show will be on the 10th, which I believe is Sunday. So I will see you guys then. We will probably do a 4 or 5 o'clock show, but I will keep you guys updated on my Twitter for what time it's going to be. And then reading sprints, and then so on and so forth. And then just a reminder, you get in your competition entry on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you want to do it. Use the hashtag Mythical Grishaverse. Thanks again to Elizabeth for that. And show me your recreation of any of the books in the Grishaverse, their cover. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you Sunday. Bye, friends.